Good morning, good morning, good morning. You made it. Holy cow. I mean, like, look at everybody. Look around this room for a minute. It's amazing. It feels so good. It feels so good to have each and every one of you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Driving in this morning and looking at the beauty. You know, it's interesting. I was in the process. You watch this big storm coming this way, and I don't know about you, but when I was noticing it, I started going like this. I could just feel my body going, oh, it's going to get cold, right? And it's making this transition, and it was so interesting because I could just feel myself as the weather started setting in, and it started getting colder, and it started getting colder, and all of a sudden I'm like, well, that's not too bad. You know, and then you people know I'm crazy and I run out in this stuff, and I would go out and run in it and be like 5 degrees, and I'm going like, you are insane, dude. You need to have your head checked. But it's so interesting because what happened is you get out there the first time and it's a little cold, but then you just put on another layer, and then you go out and you run again, and then all of a sudden it's not as bad. And I'm sitting there feeling this, and it was like, wow, I went out to my car this morning, and it was like, this is nothing. And it was 20 degrees. Isn't that crazy? And I thought to myself, this journey that we're all on, this process that we're going through, as we decide, hey, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, we're going to listen to this crazy guy called Mike and others who've talked about this idea of this indwelling Christ, this part of us that each and every one of us has. But when you start paying attention to it and you start actually engaging with it, engaging? Yeah, engaging with it. That at first it can seem like such a big task. It can feel like that looking at all this weather coming in. And then all of a sudden you start to play with this, and it's like, wow, you start to relax and you actually start to get comfortable with it. And not only do you start to get comfortable with it, then, oh my God, you start to dance with it. You start to play with it, and this journey actually starts to become fun. Wait a minute. I read the Bible, Mike. There was a lot of things in there, but none of it was fun. None of it was fun. Thank you. And the truth is, my experience has been, and so has many others, that when you finally make yourself a priority, make the relationship with yourself and then with the divine, it becomes the best party in town. The best party in town. And that's what we do here. We come together and we talk with each other, and we share stories with each other, and we take classes with each other, and we come in community with each other, because there is a collective wisdom within this group, in this community, and it's growing and growing and growing, which is beautiful and fun and exciting. But when we come together with the intention of really trying to do this dance and play with it, even if you don't know exactly what that looks like, it's okay. How many people know exactly what it looks like? I don't see anybody's hands going up. Mine's not going up, by the way. But here's what I do believe. I do believe if you spend enough time with yourself and with God, I do believe that way, your way, will be shown to you. That I fully believe. That each and every one of us has our own way of doing it, and it looks different. There's no one size fits all, folks. Never has been. There's no box. You're not going to come in here and we're going to give you the instructions. Okay, follow that one, do that one first, and then you got to do that one, and then you got to do. That's not going to happen here. It's not. Because we have so much faith in you and what's in here that once you slow down enough and start listening to it, you'll know exactly what to do. That is the magic. That is what Jesus did. That is what he was trying to tell everybody. And unfortunately, that message got so watered down over time that it just kind of got lost. You are magnificent. You are the divine. that light inside of you is a gift, not only to yourself, but to each and every one of you, and each and every one of us. And we are so, so grateful that you've decided to get up this morning and come in here and spend a little time with us. So thank you, each and every one of you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here. We are grateful to have you here. So Unity has traditions, just like a lot of places. And at the end of last year, we celebrated a burning bowl ceremony. And for those of, how many people were here for that? Was that not pretty amazing, pretty incredible? Yeah, and I really want to acknowledge the people that were here, because the thing that made it really, really cool was this idea or concept that you were taking part of a ceremony and the people really joined in. And we're going to be doing another ceremony this morning. It's called a white stone ceremony. How many people are familiar with white stone ceremonies? A few of you. Beautiful. Some are not. So I'm going to explain a little bit about a white stone ceremony. But before I do that, I'm just going to talk about this idea of ceremony. So what we're going to do is we, not Mike, we are collectively going to create a space in here to make this ceremony as powerful and as magical and as amazing as you want it to be. So you could sit there and just go, well, everybody else can do that, but that's not really me. And what I'm going to say is then that's probably what it's going to feel like for you. But if you want it to be amazing and incredible, and understand that you individually affect this collective, you do. You matter. Each and every one of you matters, and your energy matters in terms of what we're going to be doing in the ceremony. So I have a suggestion, or better yet, I have an invitation. Make this space as magical, as powerful, and transformative as you want it to be. How many people want to have that kind of an experience here? Thank you. Everybody raise their hand. No, you did. You did. I'm acknowledging you. Okay? That's great. Oh, yeah. You know, it's amazing to me, but as I continue on my own journey, the thing that really comes to my mind is what I'm understanding is when we talk about consciousness, there really is our individual consciousness, but we are also part of so many different collective consciousnesses, aren't we? Isn't that true? I mean, you are. You've got a family consciousness. You've got a unity consciousness. You've got a Grand Rapids consciousness. You impact every single one of those. You do. But we've never been taught that. We've never really thought, what? I do? Yes, you do. Your energy matters, and so I'm asking you to bring it. Bring all of you when we do this ceremony, okay? So, white stone ceremony, what does it represent? It represents a new beginning. So, from the book of Revelations, let anyone who has an ear to listen to what the Spirit is saying to the churches, to everyone who conquers, I'll give some of the hidden manna, and I will give a white stone. And on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. So let me get this right. I'm going to get this white stone thing, and this thing is going to happen, and all of a sudden there's a new name that's going to come up, and no one's going to know except the person that receives it. Yes. And guess who that is? You. Each and every one of you. So in the old tradition, what would happen is back in those days, the white stone was actually given to people who were basically prisoners and they were being let go. And when they were let go, they would receive a white stone, and on that white stone, it would have a new name. The white stone was a token of the prisoner's freedom. So it's this idea of a new beginning, a new name, if you will. Now, don't get wrapped up into, wait a minute, Mike, so I'm going to get a new name? I don't know what you're going to get, but you're going to get something, right? Maybe it's not a new name. Maybe it's your word for the year, or a thought for the year, or an idea for the year, or just something that you're going to be doing with this year. So give yourself some space and give yourself some flexibility. Another suggestion that I have, do not sit there and go, I'm not getting it, I'm not getting it, nothing's happening, I'm not getting it, I'm not getting it, okay? I know, I used to do that, right? We have a tendency to do that. Don't. Trust me when I tell you, if you set the intention, this is going to be real, I'm going to receive something. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know what, but I'm going to receive something really special during the ceremony. And let it go. Let it go. Maybe you do get a name. Maybe during the meditation you do get a word. Maybe it happens right now. But you know what? If it doesn't, that doesn't mean God forgot you. Okay? That's not how it works. It just means that maybe you just got to wait a little bit and let it come in and let it show up when it's supposed to show up. So that takes all the pressure off of you people who sit there and go, I'm not going to get it. He doesn't understand. This doesn't work for me. I'm going to screw it up. None of that. Okay? So let go of that. So in just a moment, what's going to happen is, and ushers, wait just a second before you come, you all are going to receive a white stone. And we're going to do a meditation. And during that meditation, I'm going to walk you through this. So if you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. If you just want to gaze at the white stone, you can gaze at the white stone, and see, just be in the space, this really beautiful, loving, powerful space. Maybe ask Spirit, hey God, what's my word? What's my name? What's my thing for this year? And then let it do what it does. And just stay out of the way. Get this out of here. We're not going here. This is here. This is where we're going to go in the ceremony. Okay? Anybody got any questions before we start the ceremony? Okay? Before we do that, I'm going to share something with you that I think is just one of the coolest little things. And it's a story about the Weemics. How many people remember this from last year? Well, then good. So, this is called the Weemics. The Weemics were small wooden people. Each wooden people was carved by a woodmaker named Eli. His workshop sat on the hill overlooking their village. Every Weemic was different. Some had big noses, others had large eyes. Some were tall and others were short. Some wore hats, others wore coats, but all were made by the same carver and all lived in the village. And all day, every day, the Weemics did the same thing. They gave each other stickers. Each Weemic had a box of golden star stickers and a box of gray dot stickers. Up and down the streets, all over the city, people could be seen sticking stars or dots on one another. The pretty ones, those with smooth wood and fine paint, always got golden stickers. But if the wood was rough or the paint chipped, the Weemics gave gray dots. The talented ones got stars, too. Some could lift big sticks high above their heads or jump over tall boxes. Still others knew big words or could sing very pretty songs. Everyone gave them stickers. Some Weemics had stars all over them. Every time they got a sticker or a star, it made them feel so good that they did something else and got another star. Others, though, could do very little. They got dots. Punicello was one of these. He tried to jump high like the others, but he always fell. And when he fell, the others would gather around and give him dots. So when he fell, it would scar his wood, so the people would give him even more dots. After a while, he had so many dots that he didn't want to go outside. He was afraid he would do something dumb, such as forget his hat or step in the water, and then people would give him another dot. In fact, he had so many gray dots that some people would come up and give him one without reason. He deserved lots of dots. The wooden people would agree with one another, he's not a good wooden person. After a while, Punicello believed them. I'm not a good Weemic, he would say. I'm stupid, I'm clumsy, I'm ugly. The few times he went outside, he hung around other Weemics who had a lot of dots. He felt better around them. One day he met a Weemic who was unlike any he had ever met. She had no dots or stars. She was just wooden. Her name was Lula. It wasn't that people didn't try to give her stickers. It's just that the stickers didn't stick. Some admire Lula for not having dots, so they would run up and give her a star, but it would fall off. Some would look down on her for having no stars, so they would give her a dot, but it wouldn't stay either. That's the way I want it to be, thought Punicello. I don't want anyone's marks. So he asked the stickerless Weemic how she did it. It's easy, Lula said. Every day I go see Eli. Eli? Yes, Eli, the woodcarver. I sit in the workshop with him. Why? Why don't you find out for yourself? Go up the hill, he's there. And with that, the Weemic, with no marks, turned and skipped away. But he won't want to see me, Punicello cried out. Lula didn't hear, so Punicello went home. He sat near a window and watched the wooden people as they scurried around, giving each other stars and dots. It's not right, he muttered to himself, and he resolved to go see Eli. He walked up the narrow path to the top of the hill and stepped into the big shop. His wooden eyes widened at the size of everything. The stool was as tall as he was. He had to stretch on his tiptoes to see the top of the workbench. A hammer was as long as his arm. Punicello swallowed hard. I'm not staying here. And he turned to leave. Then he heard his name. Punicello, the voice was deep and strong. Punicello stopped. Punicello, how good to see you. Come and let me have a look at you. Punicello turned slowly and looked at the large, bearded craftsman. You know my name? The little Weemic said. Of course I do. I made you. Eli stopped down and picked him up and set him on the bench. The maker spoke thoughtful as he inspected the gray circles. Looks like you've been given some bad marks. I don't mean to, Eli. I really tried. I really did try. Oh, you don't have to defend yourself to me, child. I don't care what the other Weemic thinks of you. You don't? No, and you shouldn't either. Who are they to give you stars or dots? They're Weemics just like you. What they think doesn't matter, Punicello. All that matters is what I think, and I think you're pretty special. Punicello laughed. Me? Special? Why? I can't walk fast, I can't jump, my paint is peeling. Why do I matter to you? Eli looked at Punicello, put his hands on those small wooden shoulders, and spoke very slowly. Because you're mine. That's why you matter to me. Every day I've been hoping you'd come. I came because I met someone who had no marks. I know. She told me about you. Why don't the stickers stay on her? Because she's decided that what I think is more important than what they think. The stickers only stick if you let them. What? The stickers only stick if it matters to you. The more you trust my love, the less you care about those stupid stickers. I'm not sure I understand. You will, but it might take some time. You've got a lot of marks. For now, just come and see me every day, and let me remind you how much I care. Eli lifted Punicello off the bench and set him on the ground. Remember, Eli said as the Weemics walked out the door, you are special to me because I made you, and I don't make mistakes. Punicello didn't stop, but in his heart he thought, I think he really means it. And when he did, a dot fell to the ground. And with that story, I now will have the ushers step forward as we go into this special space, this time. You want to come up? So as we're passing out the Rocque, oh, thank you. Thank you, Jim. So just imagine that we're creating the space for this moment. And just imagine the space is getting filled with the energy that we want to experience. Is it healing? Is it love? Is it grace? Just start filling this room with the space. Remember, your thoughts, your attitude, your consciousness matters. Just settle into the space. Take the white stone. And put it in your hand. And now just close your eyes and enter into a time of meditation. And just imagine that you're this little Weemic. And that this is the day that you've been set free. You're set free from the past. You've been set free from the chains that have binded you. In the space that we've created, you now have the permission to let go of anything that's been binding you. Perhaps you've been in bondage to a painful past. Maybe you've been wearing some labels that were assigned to you that have been harmful. Perhaps you've been in bondage to something that you've done that was very harmful to somebody else. Perhaps you've been in bondage to the guilt around your own behavior. Maybe there's a painful family situation or relationship challenges that you just don't know how to move through, whether it's at home or at work. Maybe you've been in bondage to the labels you've stuck on your own physical body. I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm not attractive. Maybe you're in bondage to a belief that you can't have the kind of life that you would cherish. Every single one of us has been in bondage. We've all constructed prison walls. But now is the time of freedom. This is your day of moving forward. This is your day of stepping into a much larger, richer, more meaningful expression of life. The old has passed away. It served its purpose. Every event, circumstance, relationship, opportunity, every challenge, every encounter has left some mark on us. Our soul is very much like the landscape of fresh fallen snow. And any movement across the snow, whether it's the tiniest of animals or the falling of a leaf or the footsteps of a person have an impact and can be seen in the snow. And so without any judgment, we simply recognize and acknowledge that everything in our life has brought us to this place here and now. And it's had an influence on us. And we are at the turning point of being set free from anything that might bind us as we are being set free to enter into the best year of our lives. And so open yourself up, open your mind up to have Spirit come in and to share a word, a name, or a thought of what this year could be like for you to live the best year ever. And we're going to pause and just stay in the silence as we listen to the bowls. And so just relax and listen as you hear the bowls. And now, just in your own space, in your own way, just really acknowledge yourself. For all that you do. For who you are. Just being here takes a lot. And even if you don't think it, who am I? I'm going to invite you into acknowledging yourself. You are a beautiful reflection of the divine. Beautiful. And so just slowly start to come back to the room. If you got a word, or you got a name, or something else that came through, just remember it. And if you didn't, make it okay and trust that it'll come to you when it's time. Slowly come back into your body. Slowly come back into your chair. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Everybody back? How was that? Anybody courageous enough to share? Jim? Self-esteem. Beautiful. Thank you. Anybody else? Julie? Peace. Love it. Anybody else? Yes. Grace. One of my favorite words. Grace. Beautiful. Elijah. Wow, that's so cool. Hi, Elijah.
Love.
Love. Thank you, Joan. Thank you. Healing? Beautiful. Anybody else?
I got something kind of fun and
Yeah.
silly in a way. Name fairy. I mean, you think fairies being tiny little things.
Yeah.
And then the message I got was play and let your light shine.
Oh, how beautiful is that? Anybody else want to share? So, I hope this was helpful. So, my word, it's so interesting. I was given my word about a month and a half ago, and at first it was this idea of space. And I was kind of like I don't get that, right, at first. But what's interesting is, as I've settled into it, here's the dots, and then I had a final download with it this morning. If I create space in my life, then what happens is I'm able to be more than I do. Do you catch that? Being is one way of operating. Doing is another way. If I create more space in my life, I have more being in my life, which is exactly what I want. I want to be more than I do. And this is the part that came through this morning, and if I be more than do, it gives me access to much greater things. What does it give me access to? Oh, I don't know, God. Oh, my intuition. Oh, my emotions. Oh, more downloads. Oh, more peace. Oh, more happiness. All kinds of things. So this whole thing unfolded. It went from this one little word called space that I didn't understand, and then it went into, oh, you get to be more. And then if you'll give yourself permission, Mike, to slow down a little bit and create more space in your life, you can be more, which then gives you access to all the things that I just mentioned. And again, it's what I said at the beginning of this whole thing. It's this dance that we're all doing. Every single one of you is doing this. Now, you can choose, if you want to do it consciously, would be my suggestion. Or you can sit there and act like an unconscious human being, which I did a lot of, so you really don't have to do that. I did enough of that in my life. And then all of a sudden, I decided to live it consciously. And when you decide to live it consciously, then guess what? You realize how powerful you are, and you realize your thoughts, your words, your actions actually do create your own reality. And then it's like, wait a minute, so I don't have to be a victim anymore? Do you mean I actually have some say in terms of this thing that I'm creating? And the answer is, you better believe it. You better believe it. Why? Because of who and what you are. We've been bought, we've been brainwashed into thinking we are less than. We've been bought and brainwashed into believing that we're separate from God. And we bought it hook, line, and sinker. Well, guess what? Cat's out of the bag, kids. And now that you know that, you can now do something about it. And you can go, wait a minute, so I can start playing with this thing, I can start having a relationship with it, and I can start changing my life and doing things that I really want to do, and step into being a powerful creator, and the answer is you better believe it. It's exactly what Jesus was talking about. Exactly. So, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you, wife, for playing those bowls. Could we give a little hand to my wife for playing those bowls? It's amazing. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're brilliant. You're needed. You are welcome here always. And I cannot possibly thank you enough for being a part of my life. I am blessed beyond measure to have you here. So genuinely, genuinely grateful and super glad you made it. And last but not least, go Lions. God bless.
Hey, it's Reverend Mike here. I just wanted to stop for a moment before you get on with your day and thank you so much for spending time with us this morning. It means the world to us, and I just wanted to let you know if there's anything that we can do to make your experience even better, please do not hesitate to reach out by going to our website. I also wanted to offer you the opportunity for us to get together and sit down so I could get to know you a little bit better and answer any questions that you have. I can either do that by either getting together in person, have a cup of coffee, or we can meet online via Zoom. If you're interested, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach me at michael@courage2thrive.com. And lastly, if you find these messages are helping you, we would be tremendously grateful if you'd consider donating to the center. The best and the easiest way to do that is simple. Just go to our website. Again, thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. Hope you're doing well. God bless, and we hope to see you soon. Bye-bye now.